What's up, guys? Back again with a little comparison video. I wanted to talk a little bit about these super popular KZIMs. You can't say enough about them. These things are huge. People talk about it. There's a thread on HeadFi that's something like, I don't know, 1,800 pages long. It's crazy. People are obsessed with these things, and I get it. They're cheap. They're cheap, and they're, for the most part, pretty good quality. And the sound is nice. They're tuned well. At least most of them are. And I wanted to try and break down the differences in some of these, because there's a lot of guys on YouTube that are talking about these things, but they're not really very descriptive in how they're talking about it. They're not able to really break it down in a way that is a little bit more technical, potentially. So what I'm going to try and do is explain the difference between the KZ ZS5, these guys right here, the KZ ZS6, and the ES3, which was a GearBest exclusive, but now you can pick them up on AliExpress, but you're probably best to buy them on GearBest. Everything's cheapest there. Sorry, yeah, this is the ES3. Did I say ZS3? I think I said ES3. And this is the ZS3. And none of these are original designs. These guys are based on, at least the shell, is very, very, very close to Campfire Audio shells. Same with the ZS6. In fact, the ZS6 looks more like the Campfire Audio. Can't remember the model right now. I can't afford Campfire, so it's kind of a moot point. But yeah, and these guys are also not an original design, and I can't remember which IM it was that they are a mock-up of, or basically a carbon copy of in terms of looks, but there is one out there. These guys, I'm not sure. This design's been kind of manipulated by a lot of different companies, so it's hard to say if that's original or not. Potentially, I mean, unlikely that it is. So what's the difference in how they sound? Well, if you look at how they look, I would say that the ZS6 is definitely the nicest looking. It's a metal body. It's a beautiful design, albeit not theirs. Then that would be the nicest looking one, and maybe potentially the ZS5 is the second nicest looking, and then maybe the ES3 is the third nicest looking, and then the ZS3 is the fourth nicest looking. Maybe? I don't know. It depends. It doesn't matter. Point being is that, to me, the most natural sounding of the three is this guy. This is one dynamic driver. Not sure if it's somewhere between 8 and 10 millimeters probably. And it's very natural, and things come across as organic and sweet with these guys. If you can pick these up for $3.99 USD on GearBest when they have one of those sales, then don't think twice, just do it. They're good. They're really good. The fit is a little bit difficult. I don't particularly find that they fit me that well. I have to really play around with them to get them into my ears and get them feeling comfortable. With a real soft cable like this, that helps quite a bit. Excuse me, because the original cable has sort of an L shape, I believe, and that doesn't work for me very well, but that's just me. Anyways, these guys sound natural. They sound good. They have good mid-range detail. They're not overextended in either direction, and they just sound organic. I really like them. You know, they're an incredible buy, and definitely a bang for your buck ordeal. The ES3 is good too. It does sound more like a hybrid. You can definitely tell there's a balanced armature working in there. BAs are fast and resolving, and you know, depending on the tuning, can sound somewhat unnatural. I'll probably always be one of those guys that prefers a single dynamic driver to a hybrid. So my endgame earphones would be, you know, probably be a single dynamic driver over a multi BA type thing, but I can't say that for sure. I stay in the budget realm, and I don't tend to spend over $200 on an earphone. So that's me. I can't afford anything more than that. But these guys are nice. Rambling a bit. They have good treble. They can come across as slightly sibilant at times, depending on the song, depending on the recording, depending on loudness wars and the engineering of the song itself. Older stuff, older rock and roll, and things that are maybe softened a little bit in their recording sound really, really good and very resolving with these guys. There's good bass extension, there's good sub bass, there's a good mid bass hump, and they're quite good. These guys are almost tied with these guys for my second favorite KZ. I'd have a hard time deciding which one I wanted to take on a desert island, for example, if I had to choose between these two. But I like the ES3, and it's a good fit too. It's a comfortable fit. Seems to just kind of fold into your ear hole, or sort of sit in your ear hole nicely. And just kind of, it's soft and it's light, and it's got a good body shape for an ear. So that's that. These, by the way, are, well, these three cables are all Venture Electronic cables that came with my Biggie IEMs, Biggie Smalls and Biggie, no, the Biggie, the V Monk Biggie and the V Monk Smalls. So, in case you were wondering. This is the ZS5, and I think, I mean, I don't think, I know that this is the version 1, so it has one balanced armature in the nozzle, and then it's got a dynamic here, dynamic back here, and a BA that's doing nothing back there. And it is amazing. This to me, if you can find this, this is gold. This is audio, budget audio gold. The problem is that what they did was they took the V1 and they sneakily stuck another BA, this one that was doing nothing back here, in the tip, and then they ruined the sound. And it's hard to find the V1 now, and you never know what you're going to get. Of course, you can order them. Now, what I wish KZ would do is, I wish to God that they would take this V1 tuning, stick it in the ZS6 shell with the greens and the reds and the blacks, these beautiful shells, and they would call it like a ZS5 special edition or something like that. That would be absolutely amazing, but I don't know that they'll ever do that. But if you're watching this, someone at KZ, if by any chance you're watching this, then please consider doing that. I think people would love that, and I think that they would sell really well. Anyways, back to these guys. Amazing. I mean, they sound great. They have a great sound stage, the best sound stage of the 4 here, and they have the right treble tuning. It's not piercing. It's not going to drive you nuts. It's not sibilant. They've got good sub-bass extension. They've got good mid-bass hump. They are a really good job. I remember reading somewhere that they spent up to 6 months to a year developing these guys. And you can tell they did an amazing job. And these are the best KZ earphones from in most people's perspectives, but definitely in terms of what I've heard, these are the best. The other ones that I've heard are the ZSTs, and to me the ZSTs sound exactly the same as the ES3s. So, and I think that someone's put up a chart, a graph somewhere, a frequency response chart, and graph, excuse me, and I think it was that fellow Igor at audiobudget.com. I think he put up a graph and he found out that they sound the same, and it's true in reality too. They do sound exactly the same, or at least the response is the same. To me, from what I recall, they sound exactly the same, but I did give away my ZSTs, so I can't confirm that right now, but I'm pretty sure. Audio memory is kind of fickle, though. It's you got to re-listen to really kind of understand and play around with different songs and stuff like that, and different different sources as well. Anyways, so that's that. Yeah, these are the best of the bunch, and if you can find them, great. If you can find, if it comes down to the V2 versus the ES3 or the ZS3, I'll take the ES3 or the ZS3 all day, every day. And moving on, these are the infamous ZS6. And you've probably heard that they're sibilant. And in my experience, not only are they sibilant, they're terrible. They're absolutely a disaster. There is such a treble peak in these, and they're so overextended in the treble